Hey, hi, and hello, all of you fabulous Minecrafters. This is Primary Artemis, YouTube username Shadowstudios9, and welcome back to the Tinkerbox. I'm really shocked that I'm starting to run out of room, but well, before I go on a tangent, or a sea cant, math jokes. Anyway, I have come through with a breakthrough in villager breeding. Now, this isn't so much about mass breeding for trading rather than it is about populating a village. So if you notice here, no doors are visible. Let's throw down 2 villagers, and it's going to take a little while because sometimes these buggers don't like to be watched, but we're just going to sit here and I will wait for the hard effects to happen, and I'll show you that even though there are no doors around, the villagers will breed, and then I'll show you the science behind it. Okay, there we go. There are the loving particle effects, and it doesn't look like they're going to breed immediately, but yeah, you can see the hearts are there, which means the villagers are capable of breeding, yet there are no obnoxious massive door buildings above ground. Now, that's because all of these doors are below ground. So if I pop down here, you'll see that I have these little things of doors, both here and over here. And there actually is a science behind this, and I've seen people talk about this in videos before, and recently BOO posted a video on this, which reminded me having heard it before in the past, and I couldn't really find anyone that could fully explain how to get this to work 100% of the time, and so in testing I created 2 different patterns of things just to ensure that what I thought would work worked. So I have actually figured out how this works and how to hide doors and get your villagers to still breed so that you can have a normal looking village with plenty of villagers. So the first component you're going to need to this is a transparent block. I personally prefer pistons because, well, pistons just look the nicest, but I have a chest over here. You can use glass, the leaves, any type of chest, any of the fences, the bars, the panes. Pistons are my favorite, trapdoors, beacons, ice, the new walls, and buckets of water, actually, if you do something like this where you have water like this, and then under here you would have the doors. And so the reason you need a transparent block is because the way a door works is the door, to be counted as a door, has to touch light. Light from the sun has to touch it. So doors that you put inside of buildings where light does not get to them actually will not count as doors. So doors in the bottom of a basement don't do anything for your city. They do jack diddly squat, as it were. However, I've seen in a lot of videos, I'll just use the glass so we can see what's going on, actually. In a lot of videos, what people do is they dig 2 down or 3 down, they put a door, and they put like glass or leaves or something over it, and they're like, yep, there we go. This will not work. This is not how villagers count doors. What you have to do is a door has to have a roof to be counted as a door. So when you dig this down, it has to have a solid block above it to be counted as a door. And then to make sure the sunlight gets to it, you put some sort of transparent block here so that the sun can pass through and still hit the door without having to be directly over the door. Now, even though pistons look solid, they are transparent, and if we pop down here and fill the hole back up, you can see it still looks like it's full daylight down here. So I definitely recommend pistons for this. They definitely work the best, but you can always use something cheaper like trapdoors, and those will be just fine. They just won't look as nice. However, this is not the only thing you need. Having a solid block over the door in the ground and a transparent block above it also will not count it as a door. Additionally, there has to be a different number of open spaces behind the door and in front of the door. So what I've done, if you look at these various patterns over here, as you can see, I have all of this random open space, and you can see that same thing over here on the piston design, that there's just a bunch of random open space, and so there's random numbers of blocks in front of and behind and around the doors, so that way when the game looks at it, the game will go, yeah, there's a different number of doors in front of, or a different number of air blocks in front of it than are behind it, and all of that good stuff. So to turn this into a fully counted door, you just go behind it, dig out a few blocks like this, excellent, you know, dig out a couple in front of it randomly, and then you just go back up and you put your piece of glass on it, or alternatively, let's see, I'll get rid of the sign, you can put a piston on it, and then come back up, put the smooth stone back down, and this thing right here, this little unit we've created, is now a door. You can see I've done a couple of designs here. I've done this little thing using pistons, and down here you can see all the doors, and over here you can see one that's more rectangular, and it has a bunch of doors like this just randomly placed around. And the important thing isn't how I built these specific designs. The important thing is, so that you can fit this into any build you want, you need a door, you need a solid block over the said door, adjacent to that solid block, you need some sort of transparent block on any one of these four sides next to it to get sunlight to that door. And then finally, you need a random number of air blocks in front of and behind the door so that they're different. And if you've done all of those things, the game will count this as a door, and it will breed you villagers. So you can see over here in the time I was talking about this, we actually got a cute little baby guy, and you can clearly see there aren't enough doors up ground to get a baby guy. And so I think this is really good because I always hate how desolate villages look, and using these designs you can just you can choose a repetitive pattern that works for your village, and you can extrapolate that out and fill your village with these things and get tons upon tons of villagers, since you only get about one villager for every 3 doors, approximately. It's approximately 1/3. It's not exactly 1/3, it's slightly more, but general rule of thumb for you get 3 villagers for every 9 to 10 doors. So take this knowledge and go make yourself some not so desolate villages. I hope this video has helped you. If it has, please consider commenting, or subscribing. I put lots and lots of time, and I literally took like 20 minutes for each one of these blocks to place them down and sit here and double check that they would actually work like I said they would. And so please consider commenting, or subscribing to help support me and my future tests. And if you want to see what's up and what type of things I'm working on just at any given moment, check me out on Twitter. If you check the link in the description, there'll be a link to the official Shadow Studios 9 Twitter. And from there you can see when I have these great revelations and sit on the edge of your seat and wait for me to release a video. Keep calm and koala on, everyone. Toodles.